Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Biscane Park, Florida, looking at this gorgeous masterpiece for sale on the market as we speak. And I want to give a huge thank you to the listing agent, Zulu, with Coldwell Banker for allowing us to tour his beautiful listing and bringing it to the channel. I'll make sure to leave all of the information in the description below. Now, the first thing you may notice is that it is surrounded by nature. That's one thing that I really appreciate about this property. Now, as far as the materials are concerned, on the exterior, you're going to have the coral stone tiles as well as the stucco, and you may notice the wood ceilings. Now, there's going to be a carport right here being built at least in the next few months or so. So keep that in mind so you can take advantage of that. But as we speak, this one is on the market. Now, that's what's really cool and neat about this property is that you have some yard space in the front and then you have a backyard retreat, which we'll get to later on in the tour. Now, as we continue, you see the coral continues in the covered front porch. Then you have this massive pivot door, 10 feet tall, as well as the glass panes. Look how beautiful this is. Great curb appeal, extremely hidden. So if it's one thing where you want some space between your neighbors and you just want some privacy, this is going to be the perfect property for you. Now, you're going to have clear story windows inside of this property. You'll really notice that as soon as we get in and look at the width of the pivot door. Love that. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue in and get you inside the foyer. Wow. Absolutely stunning. Immediately whenever you walk into the foyer, the first thing you may notice is the floating ceiling with the cove lights. Really beautiful details. So you're going to see the ceramic tile that's going to continue throughout this property. It's really remarkable, to be quite honest with you. Now I'm going to turn you around so you can see the front door from the inside. You see we have this pebble stone detail right here. Really neat. Just kind of sets the tone as soon as you walk in this masterpiece of a home. Now, before we continue to the common areas, we're going to get you inside of this powder bath. So the cool thing about this one, you have 16-foot ceilings. Then you have that clear story window bringing in that natural light. They already got the mirror inside of there. So a nice little detail with the accent lighting surrounding that. Smart toilet. I should mention that this home is fully automated and you have control 4. So I know you can certainly appreciate that. And of course, right here, you're going to have your furnace. But what I really want you to appreciate, look at that, even just down to the details right there. So the walls are micro cement, so it really gives that nice texture. And then the color palette in here is just off the charts. Okay, so now let's go ahead and continue inside of the kitchen. So I love this floor plan. It's very interactive. They've done a fantastic job of this entire layout. So whenever you walk in here, you have the 10-foot slider, so giving you that indoor-outdoor feel that a lot of folks are looking for. Now you have the floor to ceiling windows, and that's going to surround as well. So you see these, at least the nature being surrounded by this entire home. Okay, so let's talk about some of the detail inside of the kitchen. So you have Italian porcelain tiling. That's going to continue up the backsplash right there. Now, what's really neat about this is look at this. So you have the flat panel custom cabinet doors inside of here. Look how neat that is. Really just gives that sleek minimalist feel. You also got that pot filler right there. So before I continue, let me open up some of these cabinet doors for you so that way you can get a better grasp. Look at that. Automated lighting right there. If you want to just slide these in, you can certainly do that. Look at that. To give it more of that minimalist feel. Again, I'll leave that there. Wow, absolutely stunning. Now let's go ahead and continue down here. You have a ton of counter space and the oversized island. You notice the flat panel continues throughout here. You have the paneled refrigerator and freezer. You got your sink inside of the island. The length of this is just impeccable. Plenty of space to entertain and just have a great time with the entire family. And then of course, I'll open up some of these drawers for you so you get a better grasp of this as well. Everything is soft closing, high-end appliances. You have the Wolf range right here. This is the 5 burner. Again, we got our pot filler. Love that. So you got some shelving available right here. Very sleek, very modern. And then, of course, as many outlets as you need for your appliances. Now just look at this. Sometimes I just gotta silence myself so you can really take this in. Beautiful. Okay, so you are gonna have the Wolf microwave built in, very sleek, and it's flushed as well. Then of course your Wolf oven right down there. And then again, your paneled refrigerator in here. Okay, so I wanna just do a full pan from this angle so you can see the entire scope of this. We'll head over there to the left in just a moment. Now you see the micro cement walls continues. You have the floating ceiling again, and then look at that. The clear story windows surrounds the entire perimeter, bringing in natural light from all angles that you can work with. Now you have your Sub-Zero wine fridge, holds up to 120 bottles. Then you have some additional storage right here. So you just push on that cabinet door right there, and there you go. And then also I should mention that this is frameless. So you see there's no frame, so very sleek. The hinges attaches to inside the cabinet itself. So that's gonna be more of like the cabinet storage or for your pantry items, maybe your canned goods or anything like that. Now look at this. You have your open concept dining area. The 16-foot ceilings extends inside of here. Again, the 10-foot sliders. So you open that from both angles and you can take advantage of the outdoor living. Then you have some additional custom millwork that continues over here. You have a designated dry bar straight ahead right there. So nice little touch. And then again, the floor to ceiling windows. So really just overall, a great layout itself. This is where most folks are gonna spend, 70 to 80% of their time, especially the guests. So when you think about it from an entertaining standpoint, this is perfect. With a large layout like this, coupled with the high ceilings, bravo, bravo. Okay, so continuing this way, this is actually what they call or refer to as the nanny quarters. So we'll see that in just a second. Right here to the left, you're gonna have your quick access door to a side porch that you can use pretty often. Then you're gonna have your utility room. Look at this. I'm gonna pan you upwards. Look at that. Again, an additional clear story window, the flat panel cabinetry inside. You have the counter right above our washer and dryers. You see that it's brand spanking new. You got your sink inside of here, and then some additional cabinetry right here. So the ceramic tile is going to extend in here. So I'm just loving the color palette in here, the neutral colors, the minimalist feel. Wonderful. Now, this is your first bedroom here. 16-foot ceilings, clear story windows, right? You have that additional window right above that. Just for reference purposes, when we first entered, or at least started the tour, you remember it had the coral on the exterior. That's gonna be where this room is. So you're gonna have your private ensuite. Got a nice size walk-in closet. Go ahead and add the wooden racks in here down the road, or chrome racks, depending on your personal preference. And then look at that. The ceiling height even continues inside of our ensuite family. Wow. Glass enclosed walk-in shower. You got your waterfall shower head, sleek drain right down there. Beautiful vanity. And then the LED lighting right behind our mirror. All right, so family, let me know in the comments below what you're thinking about this particular plan. Is this something you could see yourself living in? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Really means a lot to me. Okay, so we saw this wing of the house. Now let's go ahead and make our way over here. Now you may be able to see it a little bit if you see through those windows, but that's gonna be our primary suite right over there across. We'll get to that towards the end, but let's go ahead and make sure we see every bedroom first and foremost. So this is gonna be decorated as a study, which of course you can utilize this as a study if you wanted to or chose to, but this is gonna be an additional bedroom. You got the raised ceilings in here, you have sliders, ceramic tile, and then again, that quick access door right here to your covered front porch. So you have the beautiful sleek vents in here, walk-in closet straight ahead, the private full bathroom or private ensuite. So in here, we already have our built-in shelving in our drawers. I love that. Soft closing again, ceramic tile continuing in here. Plenty of space available. And look at this. Beautiful. They've just done a fantastic job. You see they've taken some foreign elements and incorporated those inside of a modern home right here in Florida. So some of these details inside of here may be foreign to you. You might be wondering why opt for certain finishes and certain plans. But a lot of these elements are going to come from, the European aspects. Okay. Now, the one thing I love about this hallway is, of course, these oversized picture windows, right? Just get a load of that backyard. Can you imagine waking up to this every single day? Like I said, extremely private, automation, love that. Okay, so now look at the size of this. It's good that we have your nice bedroom set in here just to kind of get a good grasp of the dimensions inside of here. You have the sliders, clear story windows again, floating ceiling detail. That's a queen size bed, your 2 nightstands. Comfortably, a king will fit in here without any issue whatsoever. Of course, if you wanted to add that dresser right here, you can do that. And then your built-in shelving that we see. And it's so interesting because I've spent some time in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I was telling Zulu, the listing agent, how the walls in here are really common out there in New Mexico. And, we were chatting about that. So I knew that this was extremely familiar and they love that over there. So any folks that are watching from New Mexico or maybe even Arizona can certainly appreciate that. Okay, so don't worry, I didn't miss this one right here. This is, of course, gonna be your furnace right here. So I already knew the comments were coming, so wanted to make sure you saw inside of there. And then even look at that nice oversized picture window. So windows from all angles, which of course was intentional. All right. So very similar size as the one we just had seen. King bedroom set would fit in here without any issues whatsoever. Love the space, the raised ceilings, the floating ceiling detail again. You have your built-ins right here. Look at this. So depending on what you choose to use the nanny quarters for, you might be wondering why there was no built-ins at that time. So maybe you wanted to use that as your own private office, right? You can do that, or a children's retreat. The possibilities are certainly endless. Okay, beautiful custom cabinetry right here. And then you got the quartz counters, a nice sleek mirror. And then I always love how we talked about that oversized shower niche. And then again, that sleek drain right there and waterfall shower head. Beautiful. So in combination with the black outlet covers, the black hardware as far as the knobs are concerned, and then even just with the color combinations, great job. Okay, so there's gonna be a quick access door right over here to the right? And this is gonna be a full bathroom, so you can use this as a pool bath where you hop out of the pool, and that is a saltwater pool. You could just, access in here, dry off, rinse off, and you are good to go. So very similar in nature. And I always like to open up some of these shower doors just so we can just get a better feel of the shower surround and just some of the hardware inside of there. So to the right is our primary suite. Got an additional storage closet here. And look at this. So every single bedroom had access to the front yard that we've seen on this wall. Got that nice oversized window again, plenty of room, plenty of space. And then you already have the outlets right above so you can hang that television, let's say nice 75-inch TV, right? It's funny because a lot of times that 32-inch TV used to do the job, but nowadays, I don't think folks are buying anything less than a 50. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below if I am. All right, so every single ensuite has been uniform. There's continuity just to give it that sleek feel as you're walking in every single bedroom. All right, so you'll come out here and then of course the grand reveal of our primary suite. So you have this door right here. You'll close that off, have your little sanctuary. Before we continue, you have an additional storage closet right here. I imagine that most of your luggage is gonna go in there, things that you don't need until you go on vacation. But look at that. Wow, beautiful. This just sets the tone, really gives it that luxurious feel. And look at that, nice tall window overlooking your backyard retreat. You see our sliders again, and look at the space in here. Wow, custom millwork. Again, you got this nice floating mantle right here. That's gonna wrap around this entire wall right here. I love that. That's a king size bed, your 2 nightstands, plenty of space, plenty of room, and I'm all for it. Just an overall outstanding job, curated materials, interior designer did a fantastic job. Wow. All right, so now you come in over here to your primary suite or your primary bath. Look at that. Beautiful, sleek, minimal, all the above. Now, you got your wet room right over there. That's gonna be the 0 threshold that you can take advantage of. You are gonna have a his and hers closet in here, which I know you can appreciate, and it's spacious. So we'll see that in just a second. It's right behind me. Again, the micro cement continues this way. You got your water closet with your smart toilet right there. But let's get you inside of here. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. You got your freestanding tub, sleek drain right there, rain shower head right above that, and it's dual. Love that. You can't get much better than this, I'm telling you. Shower niche right over there, plenty of space. Look at this. This is a room in itself. We close that off and look at this. So if you and your partner are taking a shower together, y'all maybe having some great conversations, but the good thing is you got your own shower niches, your own shower wand, your own shower head. Really, I don't think you can get much better than that, family. I really don't. Okay, so now you see our his and hers closets. So this will be the his right here. You see the LED strips illuminating this entire closet itself. You got your soft closing drawers. You got your racks already built in, and that is going to continue, of course, on this side. Ceramic tile flooring again, so that's been throughout this entire house. And I know it just really stands out. Now here is the hers closet. So plenty of space available, built-in drawers on both sides, some additional storage right above that. And then of course you can always add the rack down the road if you needed to, but depending if you choose to just store additional items that maybe don't need that, that certainly is possible. All right, family. If you haven't let me know in the comments yet, I encourage you to do so. Let me know what you think. Just give me some feedback, because I always take a look at that, and it really just sets the tone for the next property tours and helps me bring better homes for you, or to you rather. Now the 16-foot ceilings, that's going to continue down that hallway right over there, but let's get you outside here. So you see, you can open up this entire sliders right there, right? You can continue to open those up. Look at your outdoor living. You already got your built-in grill. And I always say this all the time, family, and I'm gonna, I usually preface this, but since this is a house for sale, it's not a model home where it's not for sale or it needs a lease back. You can move in as soon as you close, one, but number two is what you see is what you get. So everything you see out here, this can be yours for the price tag. And I always leave the price in the title and the description, because sometimes prices change and I don't want it to be, let's say, obsolete, a month from now or 2 months from now. So always check the description. But look at this. Beautiful, stunning. You have the turf out here. You already got your chairs out here. You can tan, have a good time. You can see the privacy windows right there. Look at that. So it has a nice little tent there, so increased privacy. Again, the wood ceilings continues out here. You have dual ceiling fans, plenty of space giving you that airy feel. And then an additional sink, plenty of space. So not only did you have a ton of space in the front yard, but you have space in the backyard as well. And other than that, family, that was another beautiful property tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful property tour right here in Biscane Park, Florida. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular home. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour. Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we find ourselves in Brooksville, Florida, looking at this beautiful model home by Perry Homes, and I can't wait for you to see this one. Now, we have seen Perry Homes quite a bit on this channel out in Texas, and this is the very first time we've seen them here in Florida. Now, starting on the exterior, you see that we have the stacked stone. You also have the stucco surrounding. You have a metal roof and a composition roof. Love the amount of space that you have available. Now, this is a model home, like I mentioned, and it's not for sale, but there is other home plans that are very similar to this in this community that you can take advantage of. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now look at the landscaping. You see that we have plenty of curb appeal, and then look at the covered front porch that you get right here. Wow. So you have the beautiful outdoor lanterns. You have the wood ceiling right here. Plenty of space out here just to kind of hang out with the entire family. Then you have the double front door, as you can see, and then wait till you get inside. All right. So as soon as you enter inside the foyer, first thing you see is that we do have the tray ceilings with the cove lighting. Love that they added the molding as well. Then over here to the right, you see that we have the stacked stone continuing here. So you have more of that accent wall, and I love the neutral colors. They've done a fantastic job. Now you will see that we have the white oak flooring in here. Right over here to the left, look at this large study. Very impressive. You have 15-foot ceilings. You already have your built-ins in place, and you can obviously see that we have the brass hardware. Love the color. Really does a great job of just complementing the entire house. So you see the white oak floors extends in here. You know what's interesting is that a lot of times what we used to see is that they had the ceramic wood-like tile. That was kind of, Perry Home's thing. And then you're coming out here, we're starting to see that white oak flooring that a lot of folks are loving, loving, right? Especially going into 2025, that's what you want. You really want to keep up with the trends. And then you see that we have the French doors with the glass panes as well. So continuing down this hallway right over here. So this is going to be perfect for a guest suite. You're already going to have your own closet as well as your ensuite. But look at this. Wow. So in here, you're going to have 11-foot ceilings, but I love how spacious and open it is. You can see our beautiful pendant lights hanging right above our night tables. And look how spacious this is. So that's a queen bed, the 2 nightstands, your dresser over there. So plenty of room that you get to take advantage of. I love that. And then they've done a great job in the decor. Perry Homes, they've always done such a fantastic job of furnishing their models. Very impressive. Okay, so going inside here, you see that we have that champagne bronze shower head as well as the shower valve. You got your little shower niche that you can take advantage of. And here we're going to have the quartz countertops. You have that champagne bronze spout and then the wooden mirror frame. Look how sleek and beautiful that looks. Such a great job. And then coming out here, you got your nice walk-in closet. Okay, so the white oak flooring even extends inside of there as far as the closets. So love that. And then of course right here we have coat closet. But the coolest part is how grand this room is. Look at this. Very impressive. So we have the exposed wooden beam running from the great room all the way to the living room. But let's start over here inside of the great room. Love the arch theme that we have up there. You have the beautiful shelving with the accent lighting right underneath. Then on the backsplash, you see that we have that stacked stone complementing the entire room. Look at that. So we saw that from the exterior to the interior. You even have the quartz countertops, your built-in cabinetry, plenty of space available. And then look at that beautiful chandelier hanging down right there. Just look how perfect this is. For entertaining, this is something that you would want to take advantage of every day. Comment below if you would. Love that. So then you obviously see that we have the open concept dining area as well. You already got your built-in dry bar over there with your wine cooler, but then heading inside of the kitchen, look at this. So you got the waterfall quartz countertops. You see that we have the stacked cabinetry on top with the cabinet crowns. You have the two-tone cabinetry material, then the quartz backsplash, as you can see. Look at the oversized island. Wow, very impressive. Beautiful pendant light hanging down. Can you imagine hanging out here every single day? You got the 6-burner grill. Look at this. So you see that we have the cafe appliances. Then, like I said, the two-tone cabinetry. But then if you walk in here, you see we have all the wooden shelving that you need as far as for your pantry is concerned. So let me know if this is plenty of space for you, if you can make do with that. But then you obviously, you see that we have the cafe built-in oven over there. Got your stainless steel refrigerator. Look at this. Doing dishes in here, hanging out, having a good time. You can't get much better than that, I'm telling you. Okay. So you do have the sliders in the great room. Now this is a game room. This is what they designated on the floor plan. As you can see, we have the tray ceilings with the cove lighting again. Look how beautiful this is. So you got your picture windows. Look at that backyard. Look how relaxing that is. That's, you know, when you think of Florida, this is the epitome of that. But so you can have this as a game room if you wanted to have this as a media area or just, you know, a hangout spot, common space. You can have that. Really, the possibilities are endless. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take you over here to the primary suite because I know you want to see that. And then we'll obviously take a look at back there so that way you can see the garage. The garage is a sales office, but you can convert it into, that will be converted into the garage. But look at this. Okay, so you got your full primary suite, massive. Got the tray ceilings with the cove lighting again. Beautiful chandelier hanging down. You see that that's our king size bed right there, 2 nightstands. You got your accent wall right here. Great color palette in here. But let me do a full pan so you can get the full gist of this entire room. Okay. So let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this entire floor plan so far. Is this something that you could see yourself living in? Like I said, it's a 3368. So that's approximately the square footage inside of this house. So you got your first closet here. The cool thing is you do have your his and hers closet. So if you want to build this plan or something similar to this, you can take advantage of that. And then look at this one. So this one, you have so much more room over here. Look how. So let me know what you think about the wooden racks. So, you know, I've gotten a lot of comments as far as the wire racks not being the best, you know, and most of the time we see the chrome racks, but I'm seeing the wooden racks. That's new. You got your water closet right over here. A storage closet right over here to the left. And then of course, look at this. Not bad. Very beautiful. You see, we have the, look at those pendant lights hanging down. Oh my goodness. So you got the super shower with the soaker tub. Now that is separated, but it's a freestanding tub. And if you've seen Perry Homes, oftentimes we had seen it being built in. So I appreciate the fact that we have a freestanding tub, but look how gorgeous and grand these materials are. And then you see on top, we have the tray ceilings as well. Just get you a little bit of a close up. Very stunning. Loving what I'm seeing right now. And then of course, I'll get you inside of the shower because why not, right? So you got your rain shower head. You got another shower head right over there. You possibly add, you know, add another for, you know, the dual shower head. That might work best for how big the shower is right here, but you got your nice shower bench there. You got a little niche over there and you are good to go. And then also look at this little pattern that you have here. So you got the white oak with the tiling inside of there. So real grand. You open up the French doors and head straight into that ensuite, and that's a perfect view. Okay. So you can kind of see what you get right there. Now this is going to be a full bathroom as well. Right here, this will be more of like that shared bathroom. You have the quartz countertops and you see that we have the same cabinetry material. Look at that. Love the materials. I'm loving exactly what I'm seeing. They've done just such a great job of curating everything in here. Even just the sconce right above our mirror frame with the wooden mirror frame. Wow. And then you can obviously see right where our foyer would be. Okay. So as promised, let's get you over here so you can see the rest of this floor plan. So you're gonna have the utility room right off here. As you can see, you already got the cabinetry in here with the inset cabinets. Look how much space you have. This is an oversized washer and dryer. Look how much space you still have available. So you already got your sink over here, the champagne bras, and then additional counter space you get to take advantage of. And look, I'll even open up some of these cabinets I know we haven't. So you know this is a model home. They've hosted parties and things like that, but they are going to be soft closing. So that's something to keep in mind. But I love that. And this is the GE washer and dryers. And then the white oak flooring extends in here as well. So heading in here, so they have this one. This would be a bedroom, but of course this is a model home, so they hosted it more of like an arts and craft room or something of that nature. But it is going to have its own ensuite. And then over there to the left, that would end up being the closet. So right here would be the closet. They already have the built-in. So whenever they do decide to sell this off, let's say, you know, 5-10 years down the road, if they do, then they would just convert that back to a closet. But this particular bedroom here, you're going to have a 14 by 11, and the same thing with the other bedrooms, so 14 by 11. The first one that we've seen that was more of like the guest suite, that was going to be a 14 by 13, and the primary bedroom was an 18 by 14. So hopefully that gives you more perspective. If I said that too fast, you can just go ahead and rewind that. But look at this. So you got your shower tub combo inside of here, but they do have the hexagon tiling down there, the quartz countertops. Got your sconce right above that. So very impressive. And then of course the white oak flooring extends in here. So, and then if you were to build this one or, you know, get an inventory, that really just depends if you decide to end up getting the carpet inside of the bedrooms, etc. And then this will be your fourth and final bedroom right here. As you can see, you have a ton of space in here. This one actually looked a little bit bigger than the other one that we just seen. Perhaps it was because that little island in there. But I love that we have our little accent wall here. Look at that. You got your pendant lights hanging down right above your nightstands. It's a little busy in here today. I apologize about that. You got your walk-in closet here, as you can see. The white oak flooring. And then last but not least, you got your ensuite. So this one had the shower tub combo. I appreciate that they changed it up with the materials as far as the different tiling and things like that. Now in here, instead of the white quartz, you got the black quartz and then the black hardware. So really just kind of gives you a plan, or at least, you know, an idea of what makes the most sense for you and stuff. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. And of course, like I said, this would be your open mud area. Straight ahead would be your 3-car garage. And of course, you got your closet right here. Most likely it would be a coat closet. You already got your hooks and everything right there, and certainly good to go. All right. And last but not least, let's get you outside so that way you can see the backyard oasis that I know you've been peeking about. All right. Wow. That is what I'm talking about. So look at this, family. So you already got your built-in grill, as you can see. You already got your sink. You got granite countertops out here. But look at this. You got the vaulted ceilings that extends out here with the exposed beams. Then you see that the slider opens up from the game room. The sliders open up from the great room as well. Look at this oversized outdoor dining table. You have so much space. Now this lot is a little bit bigger than 80 foot because that's most of the sections out here, just so they can fit this oasis. But they have 80-foot products out here and possibly more depending on what you want to do with your backyard too. When I was talking to you know, the sales rep, he was informing me about that, which I certainly appreciate. But wow, look how relaxing this pool looks right here. I love that it's already fenced in. You can see that we have the iron fence You got your spa, nice large pool. You even have plenty of additional space back here, so if you wanted to have that more tranquil feel. Right over here, you got your putt golf, or the putt-putt. We call it putt-putt, that's what we call it, but a little turf over here that you can take advantage of. And of course, right here, got your pergola. All right. And other than that, family, that was another beautiful property tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful model home by Perry Homes right here in Florida. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular model. Is this something you can see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? And if so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information below as well. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.